Visualization, imagination. What's the difference between the two of them? How do they work? And how do they benefit us, especially in spiritual practices such as Reiki? What does it mean to visualize versus to imagine? Let's find out. Hi, I'm Vlad from reikischool.com, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about the difference between visualization versus imagination and how we can use them in spiritual practices. Before we start, consider offering a thumbs up for like, share, and subscribe so that other Reiki enthusiasts can find content such as this one. With that said, let's move on. If you're a Reiki practitioner or a spiritual practitioner, generally speaking, you heard at least a few times about the idea of visualizing. Let's visualize the flow of universal energy. Let's visualize connection with maybe a divine entity, or maybe let's visualize the flow of energy going for distance healing towards someone, something, or a goal. But there are also practitioners who mention, let's imagine a place that we can relax in so we can have a smooth transition into a relaxing meditation, or let's imagine a certain symbol activating in our palms, or maybe for cleansing your room. But from my perception and from my experience, I wouldn't say it's wrong, but it's not the best option to use imagination as a term for accessing certain frequencies, elements, methods within practices such as Reiki. And why do I say that? Because there's quite a big difference between visualization and imagination. And that difference is the following. When you imagine, you are using your creative part of the mind and of the inner self to conjure something, an image, a concept, a layout of something that perhaps it may not exist. It's like you're writing a science fiction novel. Well, it might relate to some extent to our world in a sense that, well, there are humans, but maybe there are, extraterrestrials in your novel. Maybe there are spaceships. While we do have a few elements, we do have the International Space Station, we have rockets, we have vehicles that can travel to space. We have not reached that level of technological evolution. So while it relates to some elements within the known physical realm, our reality, it doesn't completely reflect it. Its imagination means that we're adding something that's not really existent. It's made up by our own creative part of the mind, and which is pretty nice and good. But in spiritual practices, we are not imagining things, or at least we shouldn't. We are allowing the flow, we are guiding the flow of energy or the flow of whatever it is that you're manifesting in that moment to go towards your desired goal. So we have visualization, which means guiding something, already having that something, that flow of energy in this case. Let's take Reiki, for example. I think it's easier. We have the flow of universal life force energy, and we are visualizing its flow. And we will do a small exercise after I finish talking. So we are visualizing the flow. We are attuned to Reiki. We have the flow of energy, and we are visualizing the flow of energy going through our body or channeling towards a purpose, a goal, a person. We are not imagining. It's not something fictional. It's not something that we are conjuring up from the creative part of the mind. So that's the main difference. Imagination means adding something that's not existent, that's a part of our creative source, which is pretty nice and good, but it's not useful in spiritual practices, because unless we have, let's say we are meditating and we are requested or guided in the meditation to visualize again, or see, observe, perceive a beautiful place, and maybe we don't have an idea and we can imagine one place to relax. We are sitting in meditation and we are traveling to that place that we don't know how it looks like. We don't have a clear idea, but we can imagine it. We can do that, sure. But it's better if we visualize something that we can relate to, something that we have been. Maybe we went on vacation to a beautiful place, or maybe we had the opportunity to travel, business travel, or maybe just traveling with family and friends. And we saw a beautiful place that really impressed us, and we can visualize that place. That's not a fiction. That's not a creative part. It's just an exercise of us being mentally and spiritually in that place which exists and we have already traveled to. So that's the difference. Visualization addresses reality, addresses something that already exists, but we are guiding ourselves or the energy or our mind or our spirit to be in that place that already exists. And when we are practicing Reiki, as I said, we're visualizing the universal energy flow. That's why I also like to use visualization. Let's visualize the place. Let's visualize the flow of energy. Let's visualize the symbols. Let's visualize the divine entity or respective divine entity that we are connecting to. So that's the main difference. The creative part, which is rather fictional, to something real that we are guiding. Visualization implies guiding either the energy or ourselves or something within the spiritual practice spectrum that each one prefers to use. Before we continue, I want to drop a quick reminder for those of you overwhelmed by scattered information about Reiki symbols. I remember jumping from books to forums, from old PDFs to blog posts, trying to piece together what each symbol meant and how to actually use it in a session. It felt more like chasing answers than deepening my practice. Eventually, I realized I need everything in one clear and practical place. That's how the Ultimate Reiki Symbols Guide came to life. I organized the most common 65 Reiki symbols into a single ready-to-use resource. You have their attributes and uses in one place so you can guide your sessions seamlessly without second-guessing. It's still the guide I return to when I need insights, inspiration, and the optimum Reiki symbol for a certain situation. If you're tired of digging and want to spread more time practicing and less time searching, grab the digital copy on Reiki Scoop or the physical book on Amazon. Now, let's return to the video. So with that being said, if you're a Reiki practitioner or a spiritual practitioner, generally speaking, I would ask you to sit in meditation. Sit straight in your chair right now. And place your palms facing up on your lap. And place your tongue on the roof of the mouth. Close your eyes and relax. And take a few deep breaths. Fill your abdomen with air. And then your chest. Hold it for a couple of seconds, and when you exhale first the air from the chest and then from the abdomen. So let's start with that. And after that, I will guide you for visualization with the universal life force energy. It's a simple exercise, so you can better understand the difference. So let's start. And when you feel comfortable, you can visualize the flow of universal life force energy descending upon your crown chakra, the head area, top of the head area. Even if you're level 1, doesn't matter the level or experience. And visualize the flow of energy going through your head area, entering the crown chakra, the brain hemispheres, third eye chakra, cleansing the pineal, pituitary and hypothalamus glands, brain hemispheres, going lower down towards the mouth area, throat area, thyroid gland, throat chakra, shoulders, and the light travels through the arms and your palms. And in the body area, the light flows downward towards the chest area, thymus gland, heart, lungs, goes lower towards the solar plexus area, where the solar plexus chakra resides. The light flows to major organs such as the stomach, spleen, goes lower and lower, the digestive system, kidneys, hips, reproductive organs, goes through your thighs, to your knees, to your calves, your ankles, feet, the soles of your feet, and towards Earth itself, taking with it negative energy, stress, negative projections, and also grounding you. And take a moment to acknowledge this process, this visualization of the flow of universal energy through your body. And now I want you to imagine something that you like, perhaps a place in nature, or perhaps something from a novel that you have read, science fiction or fantasy novel. Or perhaps just imagine an element of nature in front of you, a tree, perhaps a forest, something that you have not seen in reality as often, at least, or at all actually, perhaps. But you've read about it, maybe you've seen pictures, but you have not touched it, you have not felt it, you have not seen it personally. And look at this item or place. How does it feel compared to the flow of universal energy, which is the visualization part? How do you perceive the imagining element compared to the visualization one? Now return to the flow of universal energy. Is it visualization from your perception or imagination? How do you perceive it? Or perhaps it's a blend of both. Breathe. Gradually return to your physical body. Move your fingertips, your toes. Move your body little by little, your palms. And when you feel comfortable, you can gently open your eyes. Well, now it depends on how each of you perceived this exercise. Personally, for me, visualization is clear enough as a distinctive process than imagination. Now, I wouldn't contradict someone who says, well, for me, it's a blend of visualization and information and imagination when it comes to the flow of universal life force energy. That's not a bad thing. As long as you have the visualization element implemented, you're doing just good, because visualization, again, is related more to the idea of channeling, guiding, not creating, but using something that's already there for your benefit or for benefit of others. When you offer treatment, Reiki treatments to others, you're placing the palms on certain hand position, areas of the body, right? Of the student in front of you or the client. Are you imagining or are you visualizing? Because normally you are channeling universal energy, are you not? So why would imagination take a role here when it's something that already flows, something that you already are guiding, that you are allowing to flow? So rather you are visualizing it, you are guiding that energy towards a certain areas of the body of your student. Take that into account when you think about imagination or visualization within meditation, within the Reiki practice, within any kind of practice that you enjoy engaging in. So that's some food for thought. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and consider offering a thumbs up for like, share and subscribe so that other Reiki enthusiasts may find content such as this one. Again, thank you so much for staying until the end. Blessings to you, and I'll see you in the next video. Before you go, there's one last thing I want to share to support your Reiki journey. If you're struggling to find consistency in your Reiki practice, but the lack of guidance and support makes your mind drift, this message is for you. Without a clear rhythm, Reiki becomes something you want to do, but never follow through. Even a simple structure can lay the foundation for a healthy rhythm, take the pressure off, and allow the universal energy to flow freely. That's why I created the 21 Reiki Challenge, a free program where we get to practice Reiki together for 21 days. Over 2,000 Reiki enthusiasts took on the challenge to rebuild their habit and reconnect with universal life force energy. If you're ready to approach Reiki with intention and structure, click the link in the description below, sign up, and let's practice Reiki together. Join the 21 Reiki Challenge to seamlessly integrate Reiki into your daily life.